On News Hour, national vaccination drive continues with Ashanti beginning its one jab Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine.
The people of Gamashi begin the celebration of Homowo.
And also in this bulletin, Zambia's opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema takes early lead in the country's presidential elections. Hello, very good evening to you. Many thanks for choosing us here on GBC News, also live on GTV, as well as live on our Facebook page at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and also on our website at www.gbcghanaonline.com. My name is Abdul.
Hello, good evening. I'm Sayoko Kwakwiche. Welcome to the news, Abdul.
In our very first story, President Akufo-Addo has ended his tour of the Ahafo region with the inauguration and inspection of various projects.
The projects include the Ahafo RCC office complex, the Nobekal Sankore Road, a dormitory block for the Shridium Senior High School, and the Snafu South District Assembly Office block. The president also paid courtesy calls on 4 paramount chiefs in the region.
The president first visited the Omahini of Shridium, Nana Osiodum Jaberima Apiedwabuafo. The Omahini appealed to the president to gather town roads and the Mabingoso stretch of the Tepagoso Highway asphalted. President Akufo-Addo said he will ensure that the roads in the area are constructed. The president's next port of call was the Shridium SHS, where he inaugurated a new girls' dormitory block with accommodation for the house mistress. The project was funded by the Middle Belt Development Authority. The president and his entourage then moved to the Ahafo regional capital, Goso. At the Goso Traditional Council, the Omahini, Nana Kwesi Bosompra, called for action to improve the road network in the Ahafo area. He also condemned the interference by chiefs and some ruling party members in the work of the MCEs. The president gave the assurance that the Ahafo roads will be fixed.
Launching agenda 111 district hospitals and 7 regional hospitals.
President Akufo-Addo also inspected ongoing works on the Ahafo RCC office complex. An official of the construction company said the building is 80% complete and is scheduled to be ready by October this year. President Akufo-Addo also inaugurated an office block for the Snafu South District Assembly at Kukwom, the district capital. The president rounded up his tour with an inspection of work on the Nobekal Sankore Road.
And at Kumasi in the Ashanti region, the vaccination exercise has started at all 7 designated centers. Over 40,000 people are expected to be vaccinated within the next 7 days.
The Ashanti region took delivery of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine on Thursday, August 12, 2021, and deployed to all the 7 centers in the metropolis, where over 40,000 people are expected to be vaccinated. The Kumasi Metropolitan Disease Control Officer, Mr. Kingsley Etuahini Aprechum, said the vaccines are meant for people who have not been vaccinated at all.
We are doing the vaccination in health facilities for now. So within the health facility, we have medical staff on standby. And then if you get your vaccination, you don't move out immediately. We expect you to sit with us for some 10 to 15 minutes. So that if there is any untoward reaction, the medical team on standby will manage you. And so far, we haven't had any of such situations. Those who are not yet vaccinated are eligible. If you have taken the first dose of the COVID shield, this is not your turn at the moment. We will have to plead with you to wait. When we get the second dose for the COVID shield, we will come for it.
At the Suntrasu Government Hospital, a little over 100 people had taken the jab as at 1:30 p.m. The medical director, Dr. Ejakupoku, allayed fears of side effects of the vaccine.
I'm sure people bear witness that the first one we did, nobody died out of it. And that should encourage people to come for the vaccine. It's very safe. As we vaccinate children, it's the same way we are vaccinating adults. So if we have been able to vaccinate over 900,000 people and nobody died out of it, it tells you that it's smooth, it's very safe, and people should come for it.
The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association has cautioned nurses across the country not to indulge in activities that dent the image of the profession on social media. This follows a video of a nurse in uniform purported to be twerking and making unsavory pronouncements that went viral on social media. These were disclosed at the ongoing 4-day boot camp for over 100 youth nurses and midwives from across the regions, which also coincided with the International Youth Day. A report by Sarah Ofori.
Over the years, there have been public outcry about the attitude of nurses and midwives towards their patients while caring for them. Since about 60% of nurses and midwives in the country are said to be in their youthful ages, the association believes it is prudent to prepare them to take up the mantle from the older generation without bringing the image of the profession into disrepute. Over 100 nurses and midwives from across the country are participating in a 4-day boot camp, which will, among other things, boost their capacity. Addressing the audience, the Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer of the Greater Accra, Mrs. Cecilia Opompra, implored the nurses and midwives to find innovative solutions to local needs through the use of science and technology. The country head of the United Nations Youth Association, Ms. Lillian Sally Addo, encouraged the nurses and midwives to continue to upgrade their skills, socialize and network among their peers and seniors to enable them to improve on their output. She further advised them on the responsible use of social media.
So as nurses, let's not try to be slave queens. I mean, like, if you want, the word even slay is a good term. Slay in the world, not slave queens on social media. For every word you see yourself, for every passion or every profession that you take, you have to acquire mastery. You have to focus and say that this is what I want to achieve, this is what I want to do, and tell yourself that I'm going to be master in this game.
While cautioning its members that inappropriate behavior will not be condoned, the president of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, Mrs. Perpetua Ofori Ampofo, advised the nurses and midwives against relegating their duties to render care to patients to their caregivers and relatives.
It's about our mindsets, it's about our own attitudes. Simple things that you have been taught over the years that can help your patients and your clients. What stops you from implementing them? You are waiting for a doctor to come and tell you do this or do that. And sometimes when doctors have planned their care, and that is what you are following, and you need to also implement your nursing and midwifery plan based on what is being done. What happens? Some of us are not being assertive and sometimes are too laid back. If you are sleeping, the time to wake up is now.
The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association called on government to fulfill its promises of paying its members the medical insurance and compensations for those who got infected with COVID-19, some of whom are critically ill, as well as honor the 50% allowance for the frontline health workers. Sarah Fori, GBC News, Accra.
We'll return to the Ashanti region, where members of the Ghana National Association of Poultry Farmers in the Ashanti region have appealed to the government to subsidize the cost of poultry feed to help farmers increase the production of birds in the country to meet growing local demand. They made the appeal when GBC News visited some poultry farms in the Ashanti region in the wake of the bird flu outbreak and the high cost of the poultry feed in the region.
The Food and Agriculture Ministry, through the Veterinary Services, confirmed the outbreak of the bird flu in some parts of the country a few weeks ago, particularly in the Greater Accra, Central and Volta regions, and recently the Ashanti region. As a result, the Veterinary Services Directorate has taken measures to ensure that affected farms are disinfected. Veterinary officers have also been deployed to various farms to ensure that affected birds are isolated and destroyed. GBC News visited some poultry farms in the Ashanti region to ascertain how poultry farmers are preventing the spread of the bird flu on their farms and what efforts they have put in place to prevent the further spread of the bird flu. At the Bossway Farms at Edriso, which has about 24,000 birds, the farm manager, Mr. Thomas Adom, enumerated challenges affecting the industry.
I brought dentist across, trying to do one so more pre. And trying to maybe so will be our by Yajuma way now. Can insurance in the Dicacra or Bayamo. I know meaning and America say insurance. I can't almost say me I just
At the Osebi Unique Farms Limited at Kubiase, the manageress, Mrs. Harriet Roberta Osei, outlined measures implemented to prevent the spread of the flu. She said many of the workers have been laid off, while over 50,000 of the birds have been sold for lack of feed.
There is no maize, no soya to prepare the feed for them. So looking at it, we realized that instead of the birds to go bad and then you lose everything, it is better for us to sell them than to make the birds look horrible.
The president of the Ghana National Association of Poultry Farmers, Mr. Victor Oponweji, commended the Veterinary Services Directorate for the measures instituted to curb the spread of the virus in the region. He said the unavailability and high cost of feed in the industry is a big challenge.
Looking at the current trend of the poultry industry, I can see that the industry is going down. It is on the verge of collapse. We've seen most farmers selling their birds prematurely because of lack of feed for the birds. This has basically been because the basic components of the feed, the maize, the soya, and the wheat bran, and in all, the prices have gone up over 100%.
The lack of adequate educational infrastructure in the Aoutu Senyambreku traditional area has affected the growth and development of the traditional area. The Mahine of Aoutu Senyambreku traditional area has therefore extended a call to all citizens of Aoutu Senyambreku, both at home and abroad, to come home and support the development of their communities and the town.
People of Aoutu Breku are believed to have migrated from Central Africa and at a point on their sojourn came across the sea along the Gulf of Guinea and walked along the shore to the central region. First, they settled in Dampasi, now known as Langma, Ayawaso, and later the final settlement in Aoutu Breku in the central region. A predominantly farming community and perennial in lineage and inheritance, the people of Aoutu have over the years not been inclined to education, which has affected the development of the people.
We have way left behind in terms of development, because the mentality was that if, as a royal, I don't have to go to school for me to be equipped. This time, the story has changed. Whether you like it or not, we have no option than to pursue education.
The traditional area has 105 towns and villages with only 3 senior high schools in the communities of the traditional area, namely Obrachre, Ofako and Aoutu. Primary schools here are also scattered and with a long commute, making it difficult for children to go to school. All the 4 police posts and clinics are in a rented premises with 1 polyclinic, which is the Bojiasi Polyclinic that serves the entire traditional area. The Ankobwahini of Aoutu Traditional Council, Nei Odinkulabi Okaing VII, said Nananum are doing everything possible to ensure that the future generation benefits from a good education.
We were in the other day, Sunday, we even feel Busium.
He appealed to the citizens of Aoutu Senya Breku to come home and support the growth of their communities and the entire Aoutu traditional area. As a predominantly farming community, the people of Aoutu Breku celebrate the Aobia Festival, which is the wheat festival, marked during the last Thursday of August to the first Thursday in September. Though the 2021 festival will be low-key, the Traditional Council plans to launch an educational endowment fund to help develop the Aoutu Senya Breku traditional area. For GBC News, Mavis of Champon reporting.
In a special series on markets across the country, we bring you this one from the Texpo market along the Springtex Road, where the traders are appealing to the government and the Tema Metropolitan Assembly to provide them with a modern and more conducive market to operate at full capacity. It is difficult for the traders to sell since the Texpo market is not properly structured and has no infrastructure. The market women sell on umbrellas, which they rent at a daily cost, and this does not protect them enough from the weather. Today, in our series of markets, we bring you the Texpo market story.
The wish of these traders is for a decent environment to sell their wares. They say it is unbearable when it rains and cannot make any good business. They are calling on government and the Tema Metropolitan Assembly TMA to provide them with a modern and more conducive market to attract many more customers to the market.
The drainage system here is so bad. We don't really have drainage system coming through the market to the side. So when it rains, the whole place is flooded. It makes it so uncomfortable for customers to be able to come and patronize from us.
You see, a market we say, any Malam Junction, and I live a baby is a market we may. Shana Malam Junction, one pata baby. Yes, I hear pata. I'm better than high. So, the member make chamber the scar, and son I take it to a budget, a press cabbage, then be coffee. Until you know, yes, rabbi, one boy cacra.
Bola container, Okwam Beji Sika, na container quite be ni ho. And to pra, obi ye joining in our market. A bukra obi mudi omudi anu coffee, but obi mudi the omujaiwa hana honey thing.
Also, sanitation and washrooms are a problem here. They complain that this situation has persisted over the years. It is also the appeal for places of convenience and a proper way to deal with sanitation before it deteriorates into a health hazard.
Toilet no enye mube ye bi ka umaye ye kwa line wosu line no se wo hwe hu ya na wa jai we Saudi will support ni we ba ha obedwari sana be coffee e be ni ha nso mo be boa ye no mo ye bi ka homa ye
ye nya bola car wode ba ko besiwa 2 weeks na bola no gura na ye ton ade wa toilet yin ha
nsuo na na ase wa bɛyɛ bi wɔ ha ama yɛn right de wɔn aba na mmienu bi wɔ ha nti adwane de nyɛ nti wɔn mmɛhwɛ yɛn.
With no security, the traders say they are vulnerable to armed robbers. Also, with no proper storage for their wares in the market, the thieves have a field day at night. The Texpo market is occupied by Ghanaians and other foreigners, especially Nigerians. This has created some kind of competition between the two parties. Traders say a portion of the market is sold to Nigerians and other unknown persons. Madame Lolo Orji is a Nigerian who owns a shop at the market.
You want to sell something that is small, you acquire a small shop. Like me, even only my vegetable can occupy 2 spaces. So I have different things I'm selling. So I need a big shop. Nigerians, they are having money does not mean that they are competing with Ghanaians.
Customers complain that foodstuff at the Texpo market is very expensive as compared to other markets.
It's a very nice market. You get everything that you want, but the only thing that sometimes the prices are a bit high.
If you ask me, there are things is a bit expensive on the higher side compared to other markets.
Things you buy from Adina, like 5 cities, when you come, you get like 20 cities or something. So when you tell them, so it's not like they are not the ones because they buy their stuff from Asham. That's why.
Mimi say me nko ekurasi ni bi na mba. Mimi ti ya. Nti onipa ne dia ba o se loli fe ne bua yedin. Na ofaka first no nke bia ye charge ne nyama ne ba ko bia 5 cities sisi ya 10 cities. It
is interesting to note that it is possible to drive through the market and shop, making it easier for those with cars to do so in comfort. The Texpo market is a weekend marketplace. Their market days are on Saturdays and sometimes Sundays. People from different locations come there on market days to sell their wares. Some, however, say the products and foodstuffs are fairly affordable on their market days. And now let's move to the Volta region. Bridging the skills gap facing Ghana is the ultimate drive of Pando Technical Institute. But the lack of basic amenities is affecting the realization of this vision. Thankfully, Pando Technical Institute Old Students Association has gone to the aid of the girls at the institute by providing them with a 24-seater place of convenience.
The Pando Technical Institute, located in the Volta region, was officially opened for teaching and learning on 22nd March 1956 with 70 male students and 8 teachers. The institute began the academic year with just 4 programs. Currently, the school has an enrollment of 2,563, made up of 1,886 boys and 677 girls, with a staff strength of 169. At present, the school offers over 18 programs. The school is presently facing challenges with its water system, as the only mechanized borehole is not in use. The school is also faced with the challenge of rehabilitating its dining hall, which was built over 60 years ago. A dire challenge that has been addressed recently is the KVIP. This was done by the past students of the Pando Technical Institute. The principal of the Pando Technical Institute, Mr. Samuel Ahafo, said despite the numerous challenges of the school registered a 70% and 91% pass mark in the 2019 and 2020 external examination.
The 2020 result is an improvement on the 2019 one. There is a remarkable improvement in the core subjects which hitherto had been problems to candidates. The results of the elective subjects were also excellent in most cases. The overall percentage pass for 2020 is 91.29 as compared to the 2019 one, which stood at 70%, making a positive variance of 21.92%. Pando Technical Institute is noted among the best schools in the region and nationwide.
The All Students Association, Pantosa, has commissioned a 24-unit girls' lavatory for the school. The president of the association, Major Retired Paul Amega, called on authorities of the institute to take responsibility in the maintenance of the facility.
We intend making other projects to enhance the living standard of the students of this great institute. And will not be revisiting the gas laboratory issue within a short or medium-term period, since our concentration will be on the other projects we shall embark on.
Dr. George Afeti, a past student, lauded Pantosa for always being at the beck and call of the school, despite the challenges affecting individual businesses amidst the pandemic.